spin around. I'm going to show you a little bit about how to architect this. The first thing that I say is, again, using the model of you're the solution, so what's the question? Instead of putting on your homepage or throughout your website, everybody puts the I, me syndrome. I've been in business for so many years. I love my clients. I can do this for you. I can do that for you. I don't care. I want to know, can you help me with this? I searched for this. I landed on this page. Can you help me with that? Okay? So the first thing that I do when I look at any website's content is I see, does it have those type of, questions? And I literally, I can't draw, caveat to the whole thing. I see if your content is customer facing. In other words, have you really done the research, and have you even done an audit? Who your previous clients were? What questions did they ask you when they came to you? What type of conversations did you have, or how did you answer those questions that led to your biggest client and your biggest sale? Because if that worked, a lot of people, they measure what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? They say, well, that didn't work, and that didn't work, and that didn't work. So what do we do next? Try something else, right? Which will probably be, because they keep telling themselves what didn't work, psychologically, they're going to do that same thing, because that's what they keep telling themselves to do, sort of. You know what I'm saying? So I say, well, what did work? How did you land your biggest client? What did you say to them? What questions did they ask you? And how did that whole process work? Then take that and put that out there. Put that on your home page. Is this a problem that you're having? People love to gain information. They love to know the hidden secret behind something. They love to think that they're in the know, while Mr. Jones across the street, he just doesn't know, what you know. So to build this model that I'm talking about, here's your main, I'm just going to, this one doesn't work. Okay, here's your main, okay, here's your main services page, let's just say, and then here's these keyword, here's these main things that you do, okay? Or here's these main questions or problems that you solve, okay? Each one of those can become a category. I don't think you can see that or read that or anything, but becomes a category of your blog, let's say. The other analogy I have is, first time people ask me to do a website, they say, well, what about that Google? I want a website and I want it on the Google. This is what I tell them. I say, let's go to the public library, okay? Let's say you're a plumber in Denver. Sitting at the public library is this little, trifold pamphlet, or brochure. You've seen those. And let's just say that's the basic home, about us, services, kind of 4-page, 5-page website. Sitting next to that, your competitor who's working with me, of course. Just kidding. Your competitor has the ultimate manual to plumbing and fixing things, right? And you flip into the back of the book, and there's an index, right? We've all seen that, the index of the book. So you want to know how to do this type of plumbing or electrical wiring, or you want to hire the best person that knows how to do it. So you look at that book, and there's all the index has all those different keywords and phrases, and it's on page 89, page 82, 265, and wow, this guy knows his stuff, right? Google's doing the same thing. So when people say to me, how do we get to the top of the Google, or how do we do this? When your website starts off, it's in the mailroom. It's an intern. It's giving out flyers. Now you can go up to the elevator and knock on the door, and they're gonna say, buddy, sorry, you just got to put some more time into it, right? Some more effort into it. So what I say to my clients is, we've got to write that book, right? And then they say, well, how many do I need if I do this many? And I say, as many as we can possibly get done. Right? Strategically planning it, of course, over time. So to finish my my model here. Okay, so then let's pick a topic. Wiring or something. Okay, so our main thing is wiring. We're an electrician. I can't spell wiring. So our main category is wiring. And then within that, we're going to write article after article that somewhere in there says things like Denver, and it says wiring, and it also says electrician, and it also says a bunch of other of those keywords. Every time we say the word wiring, we're going to link it back to there. So there's your index. We're telling Google, and we're telling people too, because they'll follow the chain of events. If you read a really great blog, HeidiCohen.com is an expert content marketer. Every one of her blogs, all these words go back to this article, and then that, and then back to this one, and over here. So let me pause for a minute. Is this making sense? Yes. Okay. Then on top of that, there are tags. Okay, so tags get more specific. So here I'm doing wiring, but here I'm doing specifically aluminum. Okay, and that's my tag. Okay. This is a thing in WordPress. I use WordPress, by the way, most of the time, which is a content management system, which allows you to do this very easily. So then over time, you're gaining that reputation as really knowing your stuff, both to the people that read your blog and follow it and and all of that, but also to Mr. Google, who's going, these guys wrote the book on this, kind of almost literally. Then we take maybe one of these I'm skipping one other thing. So when I produce a website, there's something called an XML feed that you use. I can't draw it. Google Webmaster Tools. Okay, have you heard of Google Webmaster Tools? Okay, you must have your site, you must register your site on Google Webmaster Tools. Within Google Webmaster Tools, there's a thing that says sitemap. Okay, and you have to submit your sitemap or your sitemaps to Google through that for better indexing. Here's how that works. There's one that's called page, that's just for the pages of your website. Then there's one called posts, that's also for the posts. Now here's where it gets interesting. There's another one that's called category, for the categories of the category listings, like all the things that we wrote about aluminum, copper, or wiring. You'll see, you click on it, and it's not a page, it's a whole list of articles. You're like, well, how the heck did that happen, right? And that's because you're putting the kind of, then there's another one called tags. So if within this, you're writing a lot of aluminum across different topics, there's wiring, there's lighting, I don't know. There's other topics, there's other categories where we're continuing to mention this aluminum and copper wiring business. Then that, across all the categories, is creating this great tag that gets indexed too. And you'll see in Google, it'll say tag this or that. So this person really knows a lot about that. So, am I making sense? And I can show all of you, how to do this. Again, though, it's all about first doing that type of planning, that type of vision, right? That says, who is your target market? Where do they live? What do they do? And the next part is this thing, the social media monster, right? They got the letters mixed up. Okay, they call it social media marketing, right? And I say this. Media. Okay, what's media? Tell me about a form of media. Television. A painter uses the medium of oil and canvas, right? A minimalist hardly uses anything, but I had to throw a one-liner in there. Okay, just kidding. So, what media would your target market? Now remember,